All right, so you've ordered a Sarracenia bare root rhizome, and this is a Sarracenia all potted up, but you now have your rhizome and you want to know what to do with it because it looks like a little space alien and you don't really know what this is. So this is the rhizome. It's the same thing as this plant I just showed you, but this has been removed from the soil and totally cleaned up. So we've rinsed all of the soil off of it. These are the roots. This is the rhizome. This is the growth of the plant. This is actually a new little leaf or picture coming up, and these are the old pictures that have been cut back. So I'm going to show you today what to do with your bare root rhizomes when you get them in the mail, how to pot them up and what to do with them, or you can put them in the fridge if you need to do a dormancy immediately. All right, let's take a closer look. So when you first get your rhizomes, they're going to come in a plastic bag. And remember that we only ship bare root rhizomes in the winter when they're already naturally getting ready for winter dormancy. Winter dormancy is essential for temperate plants and Sarracenia. So if you're going to order these, be sure to be prepared to provide that winter dormancy. And we have 3 really good videos, one that goes in depth on all kinds of dormancy questions, one specifically for cold climates, and one for warm climates. So check that out. But if you're going to pot these up right away, I'm just going to show you quickly how to do that. So I have a few different ones here. And remember, different rhizomes are going to look different because they're all from different species or hybrids. So this little guy here, I have different size pots because you're going to need different size pots for different size rhizomes. Like, look at that guy. You can see the majority of the roots are back here. So you're gonna need to keep this whole thing. And you can't put it in this one. You could fit it, but where would the plant grow? This is the direction the plant is growing, towards this end. So you're gonna wanna put it in something like this. Also, don't worry, that's just a fake spider. Now, I might even go a little bit bigger in the pot size, so there's a little more room for this plant to grow, but you don't wanna go crazy big. So then we have this perfect little plant. It's amazing to think how little roots these Sarracenia have. Sometimes they have huge root systems, but most of the time they really don't have big root systems. So really, this is a good little size for this plant. This is peat moss and perlite. That's our favorite blend for Sarracenia, especially in our climate. Now, I'm just gonna put a little hole with my thumb in here. My favorite tools, are easy ones like whatever's nearby. And I'm just gonna make sure that I get the roots into the soil without bending or breaking them. Sometimes they can be a little rigid, and it's really important you're careful with those roots. And then I'm just gonna tuck it in all the way around. One of the most important things I think to know is to not bury the whole rhizome. Look how much of it is still sticking out, right? So if I push this, I'm gonna just gently push around, try to get the air pockets out of the soil. But you can see that I haven't buried the crown of this plant. I've left a lot of room, and I could bury it just a little bit more if I wanted to. And even if I push on it, you can see it's still pretty firm in there. That gives you a really good idea of how to pot up the Sarracenia. How deep you want to get those in there. I want to leave all of this above ground. I don't want these old leaves to be buried underneath the soil. And I want to leave room for the new growth to really get going and do super well. So this has got room to grow this direction, because remember we talked about the directionality of the rhizomes. This plant is going to grow this direction. This end it's not going to grow, this end it's going to grow out. So it'll grow out this direction until I have to repot it, and it's going to have pitchers up this tall and beautiful. I'm going to water this in, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it outside for winter here in zone 9B. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, check out our videos on dormancy and Sarracenia care, and be sure to comment below. All right, happy growing.